Our first comedian that came up tonight is coming up. We had her on an amateur show, so this is actually her third time ever doing stand-up comedy. She was seen on America's Got Talent. I'm sorry. She was seen watching America's Got Talent. So, a little bit of a difference there. But please welcome to the stage Biagini-Salazar.
Nevada! You guys know that's Native American for we need more downtown parking? That's the locals joke. So yeah, I am new at this, and I do get asked a lot, why now? Right? I've got kids that are 16 and 22, almost 17 and 23. Why have you decided now to torture yourself with stand-up comedy? And it was funny, my daughter and her boyfriend just moved into an apartment recently, and as I was driving away, I was like, you know what? This feels like the right time to stop breastfeeding my kids. And their friends. So I had a ton of time on my hands, and here I am. The funny thing is I didn't actually breastfeed my kids. I wasn't able to, and I know, I get it. You guys are like, with a rack like that, we're pretty sure you could have fed the entire neighborhood. What do you mean you didn't breastfeed your kids? I didn't breastfeed my kids because they were lazy. Infant laziness. It was hideous. Hashtag only in Marin. So it wasn't really a surprise. In hindsight, I shouldn't have been taken aback. No, the real reason I didn't breastfeed my kids is because I didn't love them enough. If you've been given this body in life, do you really want to risk your boobs sagging? Think of it. I'm going to let you guys think about that for a minute. You have this body. Do you need to add boob sagging to that? No. No, the real reason I didn't breastfeed my kids is coming now. It's because I'm weird. No. Has anyone seen a breast before? Has anyone here seen a breast before? All right, you sir, you can just take my word for this. I lack a fundamental component of breastfeeding, which is a nipple that sticks out. My nipples are like sand dollars. And I'm sure somewhere in the back there's a marine biologist going, tell me more. But they're like flat. They're like sand dollars. And sure, like, you're like, oh, a sand dollar. That's pretty. But what do you do with it? Does anyone know what you do with a sand dollar? You're at the beach, you're like, oh my God, I found a sand dollar. They're useless. When you want to tell someone how useless they are, you don't say, oh, you're as useless as tits on a boar. You don't say that anymore. Now what you people are saying is, you're as useless as Leslie's nipples. That's me. I'm oddly okay with that, though. Breastfeeding was crazy. I mean, the funny thing is I didn't know that there was anything wrong with sand dollar nipples. I didn't know. We didn't have the internet. I had National Geographic. Right? I couldn't relate to those women. They were thin and tan already. They didn't look like me at all. Maybe if I was thin and tan, my nipples would stick out. I just didn't know. Until high school. And I had my first boyfriend, and we're going out, and things are getting a little exciting, and he's going for second base. And he gets up in there, and I'm really excited, and I'm pretty sure he is too, and then things change. And I am in some sort of mime act, because he's going... And then it ended awkwardly. And I thought that was the end of it till the next day, because our lockers were around the corner from each other, and his friends were like, hey, we saw you with Leslie. Did you get to second base? And there's this long pause, and he says, I don't know. So for the rest of high school, while all the other girls were stuffing tissue paper in their bras, I was strategically placing a gumdrop in each cup. And let me tell you, Def Leppard got it wrong. Sugar rash is no joke. Don't pour sugar on anyone. Most girls my age were worried about getting crabs. I'm like, I hope I don't get ants. I finally had to switch over to dots. It was terrible. It was terrible. In fact, breastfeeding was so hard. I tried for 6 weeks to breastfeed my daughter. And if you can imagine, my boob was huge, right? I'm a big girl, I have big boobs, and now there's milk in them. And I think my boob was like the 3rd largest planet in the solar system by the time she was ready to breastfeed. And all she had to do was take her tiny baby infant mouth on something that had no apparent opening, form an airtight seal, and extract liquid gold. That's all she had to do. And the crying, the whole crying thing was incessant. I just couldn't stop. And she cried too, you know, but it got quieter towards the end of the week as she lost strength. It was rough. It was rough. I hope all the pregnant women have left already because it doesn't get better. So, to this day, I can't walk quickly towards my daughter with intention without her eyes going. As horrible as breastfeeding was for my daughter and I, having a kid is no picnic either, right? But at least that wasn't a surprise. Like the whole breastfeeding thing, I was taken aback by how hard that was. But in having a kid, they're like, well, there's 2 phases. There's labor, which sounds like work. And then there's hard labor, which sounded like something I wanted to hire someone else for. So after 9 hours of hard labor, I was like, I'm done. Who am I tapping out to? I'm done. Apparently there was no tap out option at the time. I'm sure there is now. And I kind of leaned over to my husband. I'm all, hun, call the janitor. Tell him to bring a plunger and a shop vac. We got to get this rolling. And then to the nurse, I'm like, okay, you get up to the pediatric oncology ward. You find the most emaciated, fine-boned kid you can, and you bring him down here, because I'm pretty sure someone's going to have to reach up in there and pull my baby out. Finally, my daughter was born, and I was stoked, and the doctor says, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. She has 10 fingers and 10 toes. And I'm like, shut up! No one cares about that. Just tell me, does she have nipples that stick out? You guys have been fantastic. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you so much.